You are listening to Artemis, Eye of Gaea, Book 4 in the Cedric series. Written by Valerie Willis. Narrated by Can Be Erotic. Published by Four Horsemen Publishing Incorporated. Copyright Valerie Willis in 2020. All rights reserved. Artemis, Eye of Gaea, Chapter 1. Egos, Cedric. Cedric welcomed the bright, warm sunlight as they left the cave security behind. William led them down a path through thick woods while Fenrir kept close behind Cedric in the back of the assemble. The singing of birds filled the air like an orchestra. Flowers and fruit filled every tree they walked past, the air engulfed in their sweet and bitter scents. They had passed through into the realm of Gaea, but were shocked to see not much had changed besides the oddness of the trees and the overwhelming enthusiasm of the birds. The sun in the sky, dirt at their feet, and even the need to breathe. The path winded through the thick forest. Cedric's shoulders and wings would brush against the trunks of trees, making him groan in annoyance. It was as if his body absorbed the thicker magic in the air, engorging on its power. Fenrir chuckled, watching as Cedric tried unsuccessfully to get used to this new, larger version of himself. William took a hard turn to the right. Anxious to keep pace, Cedric turned too soon, and a horn slammed into a nearby tree, gouging a deep groove into the bark. Cursing under his breath as birds scattered in alarm. Flowers floated on the wind and fruit plopped to the ground all around him, one bouncing off his shoulder. Everyone stopped and stared at him. Gritting his fangs, it was all he could do not to lose his temper. His mind focused on Angeline and wondering where Artemis had taken her. At least this time, she's with someone who will protect her. Are you all right? William's voice expressed concern, recognizing the signs of Cedric's frustration. Cedric shot him a knowing glare that said, "This isn't the time to discuss it. My cabin's not much further. There's an opening in the trees. It will lead you there." Sighing, Cedric nodded. "I look forward to no more trees." Fenrir, Romasanta, and Nyctimus chuckled until an angry green glare hit them. As promised, they walked about 500 yards further in the dense underbrush before a meadow housing a small cabin blossomed before them. Fenrir circled in a thick grassy spot before flopping down on his belly, watching William lead Romasanta and Nyctimus through the door. Cedric moved to follow, but William held up a hand, signaling he was to wait. The door clicked closed and Cedric began pacing. After a few rounds, he could no longer ignore the massive white wolf's golden heated stare. Halting his steps, Cedric stood tall, crossing his arms. "What is it, wolf? You're in a rush, considering you haven't stopped to assess this new environment." Fenrir snorted. "You're quite the fool." Cedric narrowed his eyes. "What's there to know?" he retorted. "There's ground and trees, a sky and sun. Everything smells the same." "True." Fenrir wagged his tail, back and forth. "But you still haven't adjusted." "I don't have the luxury of playing with my dick all day," scoffed Cedric, continuing to pace. "I too once found myself in your state over a female." Rising to his feet, Fenrir shook his fur free of grass. "But if you don't learn to trust in her strength and abilities, she'll never discover them at all." He stopped, his back towards the wolf. "Struck a nerve with you, didn't I, pup?" Fenrir's voice fell deeper with his next words. "Don't make the same mistake I did, believing she's incapable of protecting herself, incapable of being by your side, let alone by herself." "What do you know about Angeline?" Cedric hissed over his shoulder. "That isn't for me to know," Fenrir huffed, his lip curling in disgust. "But you should be aware of these things. If not, then I feel bad for your mate, to be stuck with such a naive creature." Cedric turned and faced the pacing wolf, the heat of his anger rising in his voice. "Are you suggesting I don't understand her? About the girl I chose? The girl I protected? Spending centuries to reclaim from Merlin with my own claws and fangs?" Fenrir flicked an ear, his muzzle contorting into a toothy grin. "Considering you see her as simply a girl is a sign to how blind you are to who she's becoming." Cedric's arms fell to his side, his hands curling into fists until his claws dug into his palms. Fenrir's glare
Sample complete. Ready to continue?